Welcome to another episode of Relatively Famous, the podcast where I, Chip White, interview relatives of famous people. Now, my famous relative is Vanna White of Wheel of Fortune, hence we got the podcast. And we can also thank our sponsor, visitmyrtlebeach.com, which is kind of our hometown area. We're from North Myrtle Beach, and visitmyrtlebeach.com can help you plan the perfect family vacation along the Grand Strand, 60 miles of beach, 2,000 restaurants, 60 golf courses, 90 golf courses, great family vacation, an amazing year-round vacation. Spring and fall are phenomenal there. And that's visitmyrtlebeach.com. And today I'm excited because I have a mom of an actor. He's kind of like Madison Iseman when I had her dad, John Iseman. I think it's episode 16. They're up-and-coming actors who have done enough to where they have an amazing following. And in that category, they're famous. So today, I have Cayman Cardiff's mom, September Cardiff.
Relatively Famous Podcast with Chip White.
September, first of all, I love that name. I'm a September baby, and I think it's just such a cool name for a first name for someone. Anyway, welcome to Relatively Famous.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So I hooked up, I met you through a friend of mine, Christy, who is a friend of your son, Cayman's. I think they've worked together on something.
Uh-huh.
And I am going to have you as his mom, because I know this is a proud moment. I'm going to have you kind of run down Cayman's career for me, or for everyone.
So run down his career?
You can brag about your favorite things right now.
Pardon?
You can brag about your favorite part of his career right now.
His favorite, well, he just now, one of his films at the Verticon, they just won the best film of 2025, his Under the Hood. So that's probably one of my proudest moments right now, is him, that show winning the award this last week. So that's kind of excited. But he's, like you say, he's an up and coming actor. So it's been kind of fun just to watch him. In high school, I used to love watching his plays. I was always a proud mama there, and I was always trying to get him to do skits and this and that and scouts and everything that we worked together as families and that type of thing. And then I loved watching his, he was doing modeling there for a good while and doing that. And that was always fun to watch. And then now him doing these verticals has just been really fun to watch and to see his, the Instagrams and all the followers that he has there. And when he does lives on that and those types of things, it's just been real fun.
Now, he was also 4 seasons of, I can never say that it says right, Acapulco. Is that the TV series on Netflix, I think? Wasn't he in Acapulco?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I didn't know about it. Maybe that's something I knew.
Maybe I need to research that. I could have sworn it. Anyway, well, there you go. Foot in mouth. Now, you were saying that he just won something, a Vertical Award. Now, when those first came out, I was kind of like, oh, my God, these are just so annoying. And then I find myself getting hooked on them. Explain to people, if you can, it's his career, what a Vertical movie is, or TV series.
So it's kind of funny. People are watching everything on their phones now. And so with that, all the verticals are coming out and all kinds of different, companies doing the verticals. And it's just, I call it soap operas for the now generation because that's how they watch TV. And that's how everybody's on the go and doing things and quickly watching here, quickly, doing things, pulling something up real quickly. So it's basically being able to watch shows now on your phone and getting hooked. And you're right. You start one and it's like, oh, you can't stop that. You gotta keep going kind of thing. So yeah, they've been really fun.
Yep. I love that, description, soap operas for today's generation on the phone. I think that's true because they are kind of like that.
Yep.
So and you said and we're just going to talk a little bit about Cayman, then we're going to kind of jump into your life because I want to really establish his Hollywood star here, so to speak. And you said you follow as a mom. Okay, let me kind of stumble here. I've had a couple of dads on whose daughters have gone on to be actresses, and of course I have a lot of brothers and sisters and cousins who we have no influence on our siblings' career. As a mom and a dad, it's different. As a mom, you're watching your handsome son run off to go try to start this career in Hollywood. What's the support like? What was your first thoughts as he started getting into this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. My first thought was total shock. You're talking to about someone who was going to be an orthopedic surgeon. Yeah. And so when he told me he was going to go to LA and wanted to be a movie star, it was total shock at first. Not that I thought that he couldn't do it, because anything Cayman puts his mind to, he can do. He is the most amazing person in so many different areas that you can imagine. But so once he told me and I got over that initial shock, I was like, yes, because in what I do, and I love being up in front of people, and just our whole family, it's always been up in front of people. And so I love the fact that he's doing that. And once he told me, and that's what he decided he was going to go and do, I've been trying to be behind him 100% and support him, put the stuff on my Instagram and on my Facebook, and, just kind of support him that way. Tell all my friends, tell all his, try to do the mom thing.
Okay. So we talked a little bit again, and I've said before, I don't do a lot of research, but you and I chatted. I did look you up, and I understand why you want to be an actor. Tell me about your career, because I'm fascinated by what you do.
My career. So, because I have 4 boys, and I was very blessed at first to be a stay-at-home mom. And so I was very active in their school and did a lot of promoting to get kids to read books. We would go, and this is kind of one of the things, I would go to the school, the librarian and the music teacher let me have full reign of the school. And I would write songs, I'd write little ditties, I'd write commercials. And then I would get the kids to be in the commercials and the songs and singing and doing all the stuff. And they would show it to promote, get kids motivated to read, to get prizes. And so that's how I kind of first started out. But then after doing all that, I had a friend who was a librarian about an hour away. And she's like, you've got to do what you do, Seuss style, except make it a show. And I'm like, okay. And so I went to her school, and for an hour, 3 different times that day, with magic and puppets and songs and little ditties, I put on a Dr. Seuss show for the kids to motivate them to get excited about reading. And when I was finished, I was like, this is amazing. I love this. And so I was hooked. At that point, it wasn't just being a supportive mom and getting my kids, because my kids were always in the commercials and, and stuff too. And so that's, I would get them involved, I'd be involved. But it wasn't just that. It was now she sent out an email to all the librarians in Kentucky. And so I was traveling all over Kentucky, putting on different shows. And it's just kind of grown from that. I have written 3 children's books. So I'm a children's author. And one of the books promotes reading. It's Stella the Snow Gran. And the kids build this snow grandma, and they put a book in her hands, and she comes to life, and she reads to them all day. And she tells them, I'll be back again someday. And so I bring her any time of the year, because I put her in an igloo cooler, have igloo will travel. I've made a snow grand puppet. And so any show I do about promoting reading, whether it's about pirates or, any type of books a library might want to promote or a school might want to promote. So that's what I do with her. But then I also have kind of developed into anything character development, but mostly like anti-bullying. And one of the books is called Bucket Filler Friend. It's all about being a bucket filler, being kind and nice to others. This last year, for the summer library programs, my newest book is called A Canvas of Colors, and it's all about emotions. And so my book is about teaching kids to feel their emotions. And I do all of that through magic and puppets. I'm a ventriloquist and songs. I'm a songwriter, so I have different songs that go with each of my shows, and we get up and we dance and we just have fun. So now I travel all over Kentucky to all the schools and do that. And in the summer, I'm in South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, and Kentucky, and travel and promote, anti-bullying, loving yourself, emotions, anything about books and promoting books. So that's kind of what I do in a nutshell.
Well, that's a lot. And you answered some of my questions. I was going to say, well, if you got puppets, are you a ventriloquist? How did you learn to do that? Or was it difficult?
Well, it kind of came a little natural to me. With my boys, having 4 boys, I did a lot with Boy Scouts. And so I was their Cub Masters and doing all that. And so that was, I taught, some puppet classes and did this. But once I got to, we were in Kentucky, started off in Kentucky. When I got to Savannah, I wasn't really doing the puppets as much. But I realized in watching everybody else, all the other performers, they were doing magic and puppets. And I'm like, I got to step my game up a little bit. And so I started just having them whisper to me and we would talk. And then there's actually in Kentucky, there's it's called Bent Haven. It's a ventriloquist convention I started going to and learning from them. And I have a mentor that I work with and I've kind of just learned how to do it. And now it's just part of who I am now, being a ventriloquist and puppets.
So when you started having your boys, was writing your thing? Did you ever think, I really want to write a children's book or a novel, or is it something just kind of came about?
It really wasn't at first. How it came to be is when I was, working with my boys, Cayman, when I was working with him and trying to get him and his classes to get, excited about reading, these little songs and stories. Stella the Snow Gran was from that. I dressed up as a snow grandma, and we were having, readings of Ball and That Snow Lie. And so we would, I've got several, I'd have to look them up, but, all the commercials that they were in, I'd get my boys in. So Cayman's in several of my things like that. But that's how I just kind of, I realized through doing that's kind of a gift or a talent that I had, is writing stories and songs. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that, teaching people to read runs in our family. On my sister's side, obviously she's taught more people the alphabet probably than most people in the country. Now, 4 boys, let's give them all a shout because, we're playing a little favoritism to Cayman here. What do your other 3 sons do, and which one's your favorite?
Well, it depends on who I'm talking to. Whoever I'm with, that's my favorite. But don't tell any of the others. No. So my oldest son, he works in Atlanta, and he has his own business there, and he does some things with photography and he's and architecture and doing different things with that. And then my next son is in Phoenix, Arizona, and he runs his own business and getting ready to sell it. Very successful there in Phoenix. And then Cayman's my third, and he's there in LA. And then my 4th son, Tasman, who's 24, I think. I just got a couple photographs yesterday of him on set with Cayman in Atlanta. So he is doing some of the background character. He's a background character in one of the Verticons that Cayman's in Atlanta this last week. They've been shooting there. So he wants, he's kind of seen Cayman and loves what he's doing and is kind of wanting to do it as well. So he's playing around with Cayman.
Well, tell Cayman to watch out because sometimes the young ones or the sneaky ones, their star will shoot up higher,
Ruh-roh.
Now, you said you were Kentucky, then moved and back. Kind of, what was your life like growing up? Did you have a lot of brothers and sisters? Tell me a little bit about your life outside of your career.
Outside of what?
Outside of your career.
Outside of my career. So I grew up in Kentucky, and I have 4 siblings. I was the youngest. I'm the baby. And I I ended up playing basketball at Morehead State University. So I went to Morehead. So I was I loved running and I loved basketball. And so that was kind of my thing in the beginning. So, but yeah, I grew up in Kentucky, love Kentucky. It's a beautiful, wonderful state. My home life, we were very humble means, and the only way I was going to get to college was going to do something, and basketball was that ticket. So yeah.
Basketball. Now, I can't tell. Are you tall, or was it just you were just really good?
I am 6 foot tall.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where Cayman 6'5", and well, actually, every one of my boys are 6'4" to 6'5". So yeah, they get their height from me.
Okay. I was just say, is your dad tall also, or?
He's kind of short. He's only 6'2".
Oh, I hate that for him.
My brother, I have a brother I have 3 brothers. 2 have passed, but they were all 6'5" and 6'6".
Yeah, so height does run in the family. Okay.
Height runs in. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and I am kind of fascinated also. You said he wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon and decided to be an actor. Did you not tell him that, orthopedic gives a solid paycheck,
Cayman has always beat to his own rhythm there, to the sound of his own drum, whatever that saying is. Yeah, he wants, because he was going to school. He went to college, and while he was in college, he took a year off to he's a massage therapist. He went to massage therapy school so he could put himself through school. And then on the side of that, and in doing that, he also started working out in the gym and found out that he loved fitness and loved, eating healthy and exercising. And then that kind of, along with that, he's like, okay, I can make a little money on the side as well, and doing some modeling. So he started into a modeling career to kind of help him get through school, because he was, like I said, he can do anything, and he paid his own way through school. And so that's the modeling is kind of what got him started, I guess. And because there was one of his shoots, I guess, with one of the guys that I'm thinking that somebody in one of those at one of those times mentioned acting, and they did something together at one point, and he was like, he kind of got that bug. You kind of get that bug.
Yep.
So, but he's had it. He's always been very, he lights up in front of a camera. He's all, like I say, he was in plays in high school and at scout camp and with my stuff. And I would, we were always just being a ham. He's always been a big ham, kind of crazy, silly.
I think he gets that, not only his height, but that from his mom, maybe.
Mom and dad probably, but yeah.
I'm going to bounce around a little bit.
Naturally, I guess, honestly.
Yep. So what has been, or is there, I won't say rewarding, but is there a show, a student, something in your career as the storyteller in libraries that has really stuck out? Is there a student who said something that really has stuck with you all these years, or are they all just kind of the same? I mean, does that make sense?
So I guess this summer was kind of fun. Because in the summertime, the libraries usually all have the same theme. And so every summer we come up with a theme and we go. And so I was in South Carolina, and this family came up to me afterwards, and she started strolling through her camera, and she says, this was 4 years ago, and this is 3 years ago, and this is last year, and then now. And so, because after every show, I always take a picture. I let them. I usually have my puppet or one of the something, and we take pictures afterwards. And so, for 4 years straight, this family has come, and it's been the oldest daughter. She's like, she loves you. She loves coming. She loves your show. She loves your puppet. She loves what you stand for. And so that was kind of fun. So, something like that. There's always, sometimes in a show, you'll have somebody, raise their hand, and something really hits you. Like one time, one of the kids was like, that means so much to me. What you just said, I don't have any friends, and you just gave me the inspiration to stand up, or to the bully on the bus or whatever it was, and so things like that, little things like that, it always makes a difference, to where it's like, okay, this is why I do what I do. So
now, do you write new shows for every year? And again, I've kind of perused some of the photos you sent and on your website and stuff. And again, I think it's fabulous and phenomenal, because, especially younger kids, they need something sometimes, just something. We don't always talk to our parents, so it's kind of nice to see something. So do you kind of tailor every year to a new costume, kind of new theme?
So in the summer, when the libraries, because they're usually promoting reading of some sort. So it's usually a whole new theme every summer. I have two of the summers, this last summer, and then two summers before that is when I wrote my books to go along with it as well. So I was able to, because it was a book, still promote reading, because, being a bucket filler friend. And then this last year's was Color My World was the theme. And so I came up with a canvas of colors. That's the name of my book. And it was about a parrot who went through this whole gamut of, roller coaster ride of emotions throughout a day. And so it's a canvas of colors, and so it's my rainbow of emotions. And so I kind of combine the two. And so each summer I usually come up with a new show, or if I write a new book, it's a new show. But I've kind of gotten to the point now where I'm not writing, brand new shows for like the schools and things. It's more, if I write a new book, it's a new show, kind of to go along, with anti-bullying, or I'm getting ready to do another one. It's called Let's Get Loopy. It's all about inclusion and including people and being kind of nice too. So.
Okay. So you said your one book was about emotions. This is an emotion. What is the smell or aroma that when it hits you, it instantly takes you back to your childhood?
I don't think I have one. I don't have one. For some reason, I love cinnamon. I don't know whether that's the fall, maybe the fall, because Kentucky is beautiful in the fall. And so maybe cinnamon and fall, the fall, maybe. Hiking and camping and that kind of thing.
What's your favorite fall memory?
My favorite fall memory, probably camping with my family, my boys, my boys and my husband camping in the fall.
Now, you said you were involved in Scouts. My son got his eagle. Or we like to say, my wife and I say, we got our eagle. He'll get his when he has his kid.
Oh, I get you. Cayman's an eagle. Cayman is definitely an Eagle Scout. All four of my boys are Eagle Scouts. So
I think that's phenomenal. And camping was, I loved, I'm not a camper. I'm not a hiker. It's not my thing, but I loved doing it with him and the Scouts. It really meant a lot to me in our relationship. So I can kind of relate to that smell of camping and wanting to be there.
Campfire, nothing better than a campfire smell.
Where can people, we'll post in our notes also, but where can people who might be interested in booking your show or talking to you about it or learning more about your books, how can they get, or is there a place where they can find all that information?
Yeah, they can go to my website. It's Timbers Tales, TEMBERS, Tales, like I'm telling a tale, TALES .com, timberstales.com. Yeah.
Okay. I get curious about the idea of magic, for one thing, because I mean, you said you decide you need to be a ventriloquist and a magician. How deep do you dive into magic? Do you kind of like, if you kind of like, okay, I've got enough for my show, or I'm really interested in taking it one step further?
I'm not like a close-up magician. I'm not a close-up magician. I have close-up stuff that I do because, like, when the kids are coming into the show, I'll go up to them and I'll do some close-up magic and stuff. But um, I have a lot of magic. I like magic. I'm not your like. I can't tell you all the famous magicians. I can't tell you, all that kind of thing. That's not the kind of. But I go to magic conventions more for family magicians, family show conventions, and so I go to a lot of conventions and learn magic, and sometimes I'll teach at the conventions. But I do love magic, and I've got a lot of magic, and I try to do at least 2 to 3, maybe 4 different types of magic. But I do magic. It's not magic like you would do a magic show. I take a magic trick and I turn it into a teaching moment. So I turn that magic trick into a teaching moment of sorts. So
Cool. Okay. Well, we actually had, I don't know if you remember Harry Blackstone Jr., the magician, Harry Blackstone Jr. We had his daughter on. She actually produces Wheel of Fortune now, Bellamy Blackstone. You can go back and check her episode out. Well, September, this has been a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. My last question is, what is the one question I didn't ask you, or the one thing you really wanted to talk about that we didn't bring up?
About Cayman?
Anything.
Or about anything?
Yeah. What didn't I ask you that you really think, I wish you would ask me about my watch or the weather? I don't know. Is there something I didn't ask you?
Just, how amazing Cayman is. He's really amazing. No, just, I don't know. No,
Okay.
not that I can think of.
Well, then I'll ask the last question. Please have Cayman share this. Okay, what is it?
Well, you didn't ask, as a mom, how excited do you get, or what's something fun, a fun way to share what your son does? And we did. So the vertical that got the award at Verticon, Under the Hood, I had all of my girlfriends come. And we watched. I was able to get it up on my big TV, and we had a girlfriend night and watched his movie there here, and had a girls' night here and watched it. So that was kind of fun.
That's cool. I love that. Now when he comes home, they're all gonna be going, "Ooh, Cayman." Well, yeah. September, this has been a lot of fun, and I really want to thank you for your time today. And I hope that your 4 boys will share this, and I hope your siblings will share this, and I hope you'll share it. And
I will.
And when he gets his Academy Award, we'll have one of his brothers on get their take.
There you go.
Well, thank you.
It's probably
September.
not going to be long, because, like I say, Cayman's amazing, and if he sets his mind to something, he does it, and it happens.
Well, we'll be watching, and hopefully there'll be a lot of producers and casting directors watching our show, and they'll go, let's call Cayman Cardiff.
That's right. And thank you for all the questions about my own, what I do as well, because I love what I do, and it's really fun to share with kids and families how to be a better person, how to be kinder and nicer, and how to feel your emotions, and just get excited about life. So thanks for asking about me as well.
Oh, well, that's the whole point of the show, is to find out about the person. Look, everybody, go Google Cayman Cardiff. But now we know about his mom, and you can Google her too.
That's right.
Thank you, September. Man, that was so much fun. September, you're a ball of energy. Thank you. That's her son is Cayman Cardiff. I think you should Google him and check it out. I want to thank September for being on. I want to thank our sponsor. That's visitmyrtlebeach.com. Visitmyrtlebeach.com. That's Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Amazing beaches, amazing golf, amazing restaurants, a lot of fun family things to do. They also are big with sensitive sensory kids and kids with autism. It's a great place to travel with them. You can learn more about that on Traveling the Spectrum on Peacock. and are also on visitmyrtlebeach.com. Also want to thank Nelco Media for producing, Nelco Comics, our really cool location. If you're looking for a cool comic or a unique one, check out Nelco Comics in San Antonio. And I want to thank you, the listener, the viewer, because without you, we wouldn't really have a podcast. And I hope you'll share, like, comment, review, and just tell everyone what a great podcast we have. And last, if you haven't clicked off yet, if you happen to be related to someone famous or know someone related to someone famous, I'm always looking for guests. And you can reach me at podcastrelativelyfamous@gmail.com. That's podcastrelativelyfamous@gmail.com. Again, podcastrelativelyfamous@gmail.com. Thanks.
You've been listening to Relatively Famous with Chip White. Please like and subscribe to Relatively Famous with Chip White.